Hey Lipsey Guns fans, it's Jason and Dale. We're back in from a cold day at the range, but we've been shooting the hot new Smith Wesson 5.7 pistol. I tell you what, the 5.7 is on a roll right now. We've got more options available, and I think Smith Wesson did a really good job with their new iteration.
They really did. You know, the cartridge has been around for a while, the handguns, and now manufacturers are now starting to expand on different types of firearms and kind of mastering how they work.
Yeah, the 5.7s are kind of a hard nut to crack. There's a lot going on there. It's a lot of pressure. It's a bottleneck. There's not a lot of case neck there. So to hold those projectiles in there, it's actually pretty hard to make that ammunition. But I tell you what, Smith & Wesson did a really nice job with their new tempo barrel system.
Correct. It locks up. It shoots very well, very smooth. And personally, for me, the trigger itself.
Oh, yeah.
It's a hammer fire. It's not a striker fire. It's actually a hammer fire trigger.
Yeah, real crisp take up. We averaged out the trigger pull weights with our Wheeler trigger pull measure, and I tell you what, it's running about 3.5 to 4 pounds on there. Really easy to shoot. That barrel system is pretty cool because what it does is it harnesses that gas, and it doesn't unlock the bolt until all that gas is past the gas port. So you have a real smooth firing system, and it makes the reliability of this gun really good. We put several hundred rounds to this gun today, and I tell you what, it ran like a top.
And very little oil. I mean, this is right out of the box. We simply just wiped down the exterior and then went to shooting downrange.
Yeah, really good. The trigger's really good on this gun. The gun itself only weighs about 26.7 ounces. It's a 22 round capacity. It's a 22 plus 1. The magazines are pretty easy to load, but I tell you what, the coolest thing that they did, and I don't know who at Smith & Wesson designed this mag loader, but it's cool. I actually wanted to load magazines more because it's so cool to use. And to Dale's credit, he actually figured it out because I looked at it for like 5 minutes and I'm going, I don't know how this thing works. And so he finally messed around with it, figured it out. But once you learn how to use this thing, it's freaking awesome.
Yeah,
cool
it really is. In the magazines, you know, the feed lips can be very tough to get some of the final rounds.
And they can be a little sharp too.
Yeah, and very sharp. So this thing top loads similar to an AR-15 mag. So the mag loader itself actually has a hole in it that slips over, and you just simply press it up a little bit, drop your round in, and then just push it straight down, and it top loads the magazine to the full capacity.
Yeah, I tell you, it's actually really fun to load that magazine. So
easy on the hands, very
whoever did that,
easy.
Smith & Wesson, great job.
Yes.
But there's a few features that this pistol actually comes with out of the box. It's really cool. For one, it's got a threaded barrel. It's half by 28.
Yeah, so no adapter.
No adapter.
Direct thread right on.
Exactly. So it goes right on there. You got the cap. So if you want to put a suppressor or muzzle brake on there, super easy to do. It's also optics cut. So it uses a standard Shield RMS type cut, so the miniature red dot.
Absolutely.
I know, I think the Holosun EPS carry is probably going to be very popular in this, or any of the myriad of small red dots that are designed for the 1-inch wide guns. So this gun, when you put a dot on this, it really makes for a nice field pistol, I think.
It really does, and there's cutouts on the very top of the slide on the front, and that's strictly for weight. So whenever you mount the optic on the back, you're not having the weight of the front and the back pistol, so it actually stays in balance and recoils and cycles.
Yeah, you got to watch with the weight of these slides when you're shooting really light projectile rounds. So there's a balancing act there between everything. So Smith & Wesson did their homework on this. You know, it's not always doing it first, but it's doing it correctly.
Correct.
But I really do think, you know, a lot of people, there's a lot of controversy out there about 5.7, is it a defensive, load or whatever else? And look, that's for you to decide whether or not you think a 22 caliber projectile rolling about 2,000 feet per second is good for personal protection.
Or is it whatever you can shoot accurately?
Exactly. You know, it's funny, a lot of people right now are bolstering up some of the 22 rimfires as defensive guns with the federal punch and everything else. But then kind of look at a 5.7 as not being effective. So I don't know how that really works. But regardless of that, I think for in the field, this gun has some application.
It really does.
Whether you're out in your varmint or whatever else, as a trapline gunner, you have a lot of capacity. It's super flat shooting. To shoot this gun out at distance, is really pretty easy. I've shot a lot of 5.7s over the years, and really there's not a whole lot of holdover at 100 yards. You put an optic on one of these, it makes making hits pretty reliable at distance.
Absolutely, Jason. And with there's actually a top there. It's serrated across the very top of the slide to keep the glare down. So if you wanted to take and stretch the legs out and go a little bit further past 25 yards, it'll really reduce the glare when you're shooting there from.
Yeah, so you got 2 magazines, comes with the package, the mag loader, the threaded barrel with the protector. It's optics cut with a plate, comes with 3-dot sights already on there. This one's a non-thumb safety model, but there's also a manual thumb safety. The gun is also completely ambidextrous. You have ambidextrous slide releases, and you can change the magazine button on there. So there's a lot of, this is a really cool gun. It's super thin, it's super light, it's pretty streamlined, no recoil. Now I will say, 5.7 is loud.
It is.
When you're out in the field, you want to have some hearing protection on with this gun because it's a lot of power, a lot of pressure going out of there. So it can be a little obnoxious when you're shooting it. You got the rail in there. You can put a light, whatever you want. This gun has a lot of.
It has a lot of potential. Yeah, it has a lot of things going for it. Now this gun does not have interchangeable back straps for the simple fact that the grip is extremely thin.
Yeah.
With the length of the 5.7 round. It gets a little bulky when you start adding palm swells, and it won't fit a lot of people's hands on it. So they kept it really, really thin.
Yeah, to accommodate the 5.7 round, you have to have pretty good depth of the magazine. Well, you can actually tell by the magazine. It's long. It's a good bit wider than your typical 9mm type magazine. But I tell you what, at an MSRP of $699, the value of this gun is tremendous. And I think that if you're looking for something that's semi-automatic, low recoil, flat shooting.
With a lot of options.
With a lot of options, whether for the field or for personal protection, I think the Smith & Wesson 5.7 is a really good option. So if you want to find one, go to LIPSEY'S.com, find a dealer in your area and get one order. And to find out more information, you can also go to Smith & Wesson and check out. They've got videos, all the spec sheets and everything. I think this one's going to be a winner. Dale, you got any final thoughts?
The final thoughts is, go check out YouTube or SmithandWesson.com and check out the actual system of the barrel and how it operates.
Yeah,
it's really fascinating.
It's actually a 2-piece barrel the way it works. And that rotating bolt slides in there. It's really cool.
It's really phenomenal. So it's exciting to see what's going to come out of Smith & Wesson in months to come.
Absolutely. I'll tell you, my final thoughts are, give one a try. I think the 5.7's here to stay. I think there's a lot of applications, and I think there's going to be a lot more loads available from different manufacturers, and the price of that ammunition is coming down. So go check it out, and until next time, aim higher.